on. So coming out of the pits, it's Brennan Green in the 171. Yeah, on the second row of the grid, as we expected, Dylan Roberts. He's the 4th highest point scorer in the Veldrift Point S sponsored entry. On the back row will be, as we said, the 500 of Rian van Niekerk. Oh, Brennan Green, the higher point scorer than Hansie Moore. And in fact, then Johan Lowe finds himself alongside Dylan Roberts. So Johan Lowe, Dylan Roberts going to go, I think it's going to be 2 battles out there. I think it's going to be Hansie battling with Brennan. And then I think it's going to be a separate battle with Dylan Roberts going one-on-one with Johan Lowe, to my mind.
Well, let's look and see if Green and Moore can break away from them. Now remember that they both had problems out there in the previous heats and the exit of turn 1. They won't want that again. So let's see what happens as a brilliant start off the line there by Hansie Moore, but it's Brennan Green that gets the whole shot. No, once again the car washes away. Out underneath Green. Oh, there's contact. There's initial contact. 3 cars involved in that one. It was the SLK that went into Roberts, then eventually into Lambrechts. It was the SLK of Rian van Niekerk that had tagged Dylan Roberts, and then Roberts tagged Hugo Lambrecht. And that brought out the full course yellow, and we go back to the original grid for the start.
That was kind of hectic. Brendan Green did it all right. He climbed on the brakes early, dialed in a whole bunch of back brakes. He put it nice and sideways, forced Hansie Moore into a situation where he had to yield to that lead position. And then it just flicked the nose around and it just washed the nose away, and there was nothing that he could do about it.
And it seems to happen between the center of the corner to the exit of the apex.
Well, this time it's happened now before the apex, so I think it's more linked to the setup on that motor car. But such is motorsport. If it was all predictable, there wouldn't be much excitement in it.
Well, a lot of damage on the front of Dylan Roberts' car due to the fact that after he was hit, he went into the 47 car that's also got sizable damage on the front of it. So it was a chain reaction. The back end of and the front end of Dylan's car doesn't look too very good. Initial contact from the back by the SLK, and then in the front damage we went into the 47 car of Hugo Lambrecht. So let's hope it's going to be okay this time. Remember, it was lap 1, turn 1 incident. That's why they said original grid positions. Right, Gary, take them off the line. Let's see what happens.
All right, what does Hansie Moore do this time around? He knows what Brendan Green's capable of. He knows how well that car accelerates, and Hansie Moore knows Lowe is right in there as well. Lowe is going to be in a battle. Lambrechts goes wide. Lowe dives up on the inside, and it is going to be Brennan Green on the outside, Hansie Moore on the inside. They break exactly the same time. They pitch the cars the same. Hansie Moore holds it tight. Brennan Green gets me down out of the corner, and they still sideways away. There's nothing in it. It's Hansie Moore on the inside and Brennan Green, and well, that brings out the full course yellow.
Full course yellow, the 47 car in trouble here of Lambrechts. They're coming out of turn number 1, and that brings out the full course yellow. The 47 car in trouble, exit turn 1.
And there's bodywork laying on the track on the far side. There's lots and lots of bodywork. In fact, from Roberts' car, Dylan Roberts, is the door is now almost gone. The whole side skirt at the bottom is gone as well. The red flag will come out. Lambrechts is definitely out of it. Hugo Lambrechts in the 47. The detached, the lower control arm on the right-hand front, that takes him completely out of it. The marshal on the far side is going to go and collect the rest of the bodywork of Dylan Roberts and try and get all of that together. So we'll have to try and pick up as much of the bits and pieces of shards of material on the far side. The marshal's going to take a walk down there past the Pro Skills hoarding as we bring them up onto the grid. There'll be the Springbok motor rewinders, Nalma Diesel, Liquid Molly, Hansie Moore. In there behind him, Weskus Botwerkers, Brendan Green, same body shell between the two of them. Then it's going to be Johan Low in the 1, 2, 3. Then behind that, what's left of the Dylan Roberts car. I think they'll probably take that what's left of the door off as well, because that's pretty dangerous. Or they'll just show him straight away to go off onto the infield. Let's see what is the result of that. Looks like Marius is deciding that car is too badly damaged. Bringing up the SLK a bit closer of Rian van Niekerk. Having a look at the left-hand front corner, everything seems to be fine on that one. So in a way, we were robbed there of that Hansie Moore Brennan Green one-on-one. But then again, Frankie, we got a chance to watch them restart the action bumper to bumper.
Yeah, I was going because as you look, the marshals are picking up parts because that Roberts car was busy dismantling itself the way it was going around the oval. That's my word for the day.
Dismantle mode.
Dismantling.
Dismantle mode.
Yeah, dismantling
That's
itself.
when your car self-destructs all by itself. Well, we had to have
I'll never forget many years ago. I don't remember the driver's name. He was racing 8 cylinders, and Werner Kriegler and myself were doing the commentary. They were racing in Worcester, and as this car came out of turn 1, it began to fall apart. And Werner was still saying, "Die drywer ry met 'n kar wat besig om stelselmatig uit mekaar uit te val." I don't remember who the driver was, but that was many years ago.
Werner Kriegler, that has been a very well-known COC, assistant COC, MSA steward, commentator, does administrative side as well, a very highly acclaimed member of the management side of Oval Track in the Western Cape.
So ja, ek kan vir Dylan Roberts sê, die kar wat stelselmatig besig was om met mekaar uit te val. But he was in the wars, so yeah, one can understand that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of bodywork that's missing on that motor car, and unfortunately it hasn't worked out very well today for Hicho Lamprecht. The first race he started in P1 pole position, ended at the back end of the pack, and now not having a good time with that right-hand front lower controller, and probably find the rose joint that is broken on that right-hand front, and that takes him out of it completely. So Springbok Motor Rewinders, Nama Diesel, Hansie Moore, ex-South African 2.1 modified, and Hot Rod champion ahead of the ex-club champion Weskus Bakwerker, Brennan Green, the son of Jimmy Green, legend from Weskus Oval for the last 4.5 decades, in fact. The new kid on the block in there behind that, the 1, 2, 3 of Johan Low, and then the SLK Mercedes-Benz, pretty similar body shell to what was first campaigned by Christy Aysen back in the day at the Tigerberg Raceway. Christy Aysen, a man that was actually a groundsman here many years ago and stayed in the igloo at the back in the pit area. And Christy Aysen, that's no longer that tightly involved with oval track racing. What a brilliant guy. What a legend in his own time, Christy Aysen.
And decades ago, he was part of that Master Parts Top 10 tour that toured the country. I'm going back now to about 1991, 92. That was a long time ago. Yeah. Either way, here we go. This is now as the flag drops and off we go. So here we're going to go and we're going to watch part 2 of Hansie Moore versus Brennan Green. They want to first clear those two cars behind them, and then they're going to go one-on-one. Let's hope that this time nobody's car washes away in turn 1.
Oh, Brennan Green homes in under braking, slides up on the inside of Hansie Moore. Hansie Moore saying, no ways, you're not going up the inside once again. Now he's in, he's up on the inside line. Brilliant driving, Brennan Green. Brennan Green goes to the front. Part 1 was Hansie Moore. This is the start of part 2. This is Brennan Green.
Well, you don't sell Hansie Moore a dummy, and that is exactly what was done to Hansie Moore. He showed him on the outside. Hansie covered the outside. He dove on the inside. It's the oldest trick in the book, and Hansie Moore fell for that one. Now, all of a sudden, with 2 more laps to go from being the hunted, he is now the hunter.
Well, on entry into the corner, Brennan Green is omnipotent with that motor car. He is, you don't drift it up on the inside of Hansie Moore unless you wake up very early on a Saturday morning And in fact, Brennan Green is on top of this one. Brennan Green now starting to create just a smidgen of a gap between himself and the double South African champion Hansie Moore.
One more lap to go for the two of them, and I think Hansie Moore realizes now that Brennan Green is not going to be beaten, he's not going to be caught in this one. There's a half a lap to go for the two of them as they race towards the checkered flag, and Green has done more than enough. Brennan Green will come home in P1, Hansie Moore will finish in second position, and fourth will go to Rian van Niekerk.
Nadat die eerste, is eintlik die 28ste Februarie, 1ste Maart, 2de Maart, daai naweek wat ons in St Helena Bay gaan wees. Daar is nog 'n behuising wat beskikbaar is in die area van St Helena Bay en dan ook in Britannia Bay. So as jy vir ons wil kom join daar, so gaan doen 'n bietjie huiswerk môreoggend op Google. Gaan kyk en doen jou besprekings en maak seker jy is daar vir die hele naweek.
Right, here we go with the finals of the V8, the AMS class, sponsored by LG Towing. And Quinton Miller, he's going to be the man to try and catch in this one.
I think barring unforeseen circumstances, Quinton Miller is going to be flag to flag.
Away they go as they work their way there into turn number one. And it is Miller that gets the whole shot. We're going to keep an eye on Quinton Miller down the back straight. There comes Mostert. He's popped up into that second spot after having a nightmare second heat. He's now recovered. Obviously changed the settings of that thing. And now he sits there in P2 chasing down the Quinton Miller. But it's very high coming out of the turn number two, and that will put him in the hands of Dean Carstens.
Oh, Dean Carstens going to try everything he possibly can, but there's no doubt that the 531 is not handling the way that he would like for Adrian Mostert. He's fighting with that car all the time. As more Miller accounting, leaves him out. A lot of damage to the right-hand back corner that was sustained in race number one when he hit the wall on no less than 3 different occasions, but there's definitely some damage to the suspension of that motor car. Only his driving prowess that keeps him in that second position.
This is them. Oh, he's right up to the ball. That car's all over the place. Oh, Adrian Mostert, man, did he work hard to keep that car away from the wall. But we have a full course yellow. There is a tyre.
Yeah.
A tyre, one of the boundary tyres that is lying in the middle of the track. Change of surface, and that brings out the full caution yellow flag.
See, Quinton Miller's also got a bit of damage on the right-hand back corner there as well, but that was from race number one. Doesn't affect the wheels at all. So quite fine for now. Quinton Miller finds himself with probably only just 2 laps still to go, that the whole pack will now close up behind him. So he's going to have Adrian Mostert that's going to be right in there behind him, and then Dean Carstens on the takeoff. So it's just going to make it a little bit more difficult, but I mean, he was the highest point scorer going into the final. He's the odds-on favorite to win the final as well, but like they say in the classics, it's not over until the checkered flag goes down.
Right, the white flag is out as we watch them circulate around. There's Francois van Wyk, Frikkie Slippers. That's the last 2 cars out there. Now, Mr. Moss is going to have to watch out, because that car is wandering around underneath him seriously, especially at the exit of turn 2.
He's kind of brave.
Very much so.
Or insane.
Bit of both, maybe.
At least it's a balance.
So he will have behind him Dean Carstens, Francois van Wyk, and then Frikkie Slippers. That's the 5 cars. So away we go once again as the flag goes down, and Miller climbs on the gas, but Dean Carstens climbed on the gas at exactly the same time as Mostert, and he wants to go through. Mostert had a look at him, he clipped something there. Lucky for Mostert, he didn't turn himself around, and lucky for Miller that he maintained that lead.
Yep, the white flag comes out, so it'll be one more lap after this one. Quinton Miller, Adrian Mostert, right up against the wall. Dean Carstens holding on as best he can. And then, well, I think that it's all said and done. Barring unforeseen circumstances, the main man out there tonight in the class stamps his authority. It's going to go to Quinton Miller.
Miller comes home in P1 with Mostert coming home second, followed there by Carstens across the line, Van Wyk, and then the 78 of Frikkie Slippers. Debietkaart wat hier so in die kommentaar hokkie lê by ons. Ons sal dit prysuitdeling toe vat as niemand dit kom eis nie, maar ja, dit is hier by ons.
Well, there is a set of keys that have been handed in as well. So here goes Battle Royal. The 5 quickest are up there on the line. Abdelkader Delvay, JP Jr., Skalk van der Westhuizen, Quinton Venter, and the 801 of Jean Leroux. Now, those guys are all on very, very similar pace. If anybody can get away, it would be the likes of JP du Plessis or Abdelkader Delvay. Let's be honest, the two of them are utterly immaculate. But there is no doubt that Van der Westhuizen is more than capable. Quinton Venter undoubtedly more than capable, and the new 1660 sensation this side of the world is Jean Leroux in the 801. And when that car doesn't work on all surfaces, but when it gets to the surface that Jean's comfortable, he is just as quick as anybody else out there. That's the 5 that's going to decide. Folks on the right hand side of the commentary box, please move back so that we can see. And down towards number 1 they go. Abdelkader Delvay on that inside line. Skalk van der Westhuizen goes through with him. JP Jr. is not going to give it away, but it's all about Abdelkader Delvay.
Well, he's going to do what he did, I think, in heat number 2 and try and run away with it. He's got JP Jr. in there behind him. Skalk van der Westhuizen, he's there in that 3rd spot. That's the top 3. That's heading down towards us. Then we've got Jean Leroux. And right behind him is Quinton Venter, Armand Isaacs, and behind Isaacs we have got Gerrit Lowe. And then the last 2 cars coming around is Hockley and Bacchus. That is the subtotal of the field as the leaders make their way back towards the start-finish line.
JP Jr. had a bit of contact there. They were side by side with Skalk van der Westhuizen. And JP Jr. did manage to haul a bit of ground in initially. Skalk was quick into turn number 1, a little bit slower on the way out. But Abdelkader Delvay doing an up, dust and disappear Quinton Miller style at the stuff.
Armand Isaacs pulling the 41 car off onto the infield as the rest of the cars just roll by. Abdelkader Delvay sitting there in P1 and he's trying to break the toe on Skalk van der Westhuizen. That's in that 2nd spot, who is getting away now from JP Jr. But Jean Leroux on the other end is crowding the back bootlid of the JP Jr. Golf as they head into 1, followed there by the Jetta 3, the 77 of Quinton Venter, and then the Ford Laser of Gerrit Lowe.
JP Jr., one of very few people that can go from front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive, climb back in the front-wheel drive, and be on song. 4 laps to go. Abdelkader Delvay leading out from Van der Westhuizen, from du Plessis, and once again, Jean Leroux is in the hunt.
Yeah, Leroux sitting right there on the case of du Plessis, and they are fighting that one out for the last position on the podium, so to speak, in heat number 3, in other words, the final, as they work their way into 1, and he's closing. Leroux is now right on the case of JP du Plessis as they exit turn 1. He's going to fancy having a go somewhere, surely. He's going to try and shove his nose up on the inside, but du Plessis is a wily old fox, in other words, when it comes to years of experience, JP Jr., and he is a SA champ as well.
He's a multiple South African champion and club champion as well, and with a bit of luck the leaders will not have to go past the back markers at all, but it's going to be with 2 laps to go. Oh, and contact, the 144 right in the middle of the circuit, and that was Ruben Bacchus that got tagged there by the leader. They both changed directions at the same time. The rule is The line that you are on is the line that you stay. I think he decided, let's try and get out of the way of the leaders and not affect them. At the same time, Abdul Qadir Del Valle decided to dive for the inside line because it was so competitive there behind him with Skalk van der Westhuizen and JP Jr. Well, I think with the way that it is now, Jean Leroux is going to say, you know what, there's probably going to be a green flag, a white flag, and a checkered flag. I'm going to go, because he is the 4th highest point scorer going into the final. The only way that he can pick up silverware is he's got to beat somebody that is in front of him. And I think that Jean Leroux is going to go all out. He's got nothing to lose right now. Where he is, he's going to load the car, have a beer, and go home. If he moves forward, he's going to go and fetch silverware this evening. I think Jean Leroux is going to go all or nothing.
Well, if he did, it wasn't picked up on the live stream neither. If he did move out the way, well, that is the oldest trick that you don't do. There's only one form of motorsport worldwide. One form and one form only worldwide to my knowledge, where you move out of the way for a quicker car or for the leader, and that is Formula One. All other forms of motorsport, you keep your line and the quicker car will find its way around you, either above you or under you, but you do not wander around on a racetrack if you have seen a blue flag. So I'm going with what Gary said because I didn't pick it up. I was watching the leaders. And if that is the case,
yeah.
And I'm saying should that be the case, then he should have stayed on his line. But I'm going with the conclusion that you made.
Well, look, at the end of the day, the man that was at the front of the pack is still at the front of the pack. The man that was second from the back of the pack is still pretty much at the back of the pack.
Nothing lost, nothing gained.
No. All good at this stage. Oh, looks like the 41 car might be affected.
The 41 car did pull off.
Armand Isaacs.
And he came back in again. Now, I don't want to discuss rules and regulations, but if you took a helmet off or untied a seatbelt or got out the car, any one of those
have excluded yourself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, if he had stayed in the car, started the car up and got back in the race again, I'm almost certain they would have allowed him to, unless the COCs have got other reasons for not allowing him back in again.
Was he on the infield?
Yes, he did. The 41 car stood just over here, and then the marshal actually got outside assistance because the marshals pushed the car away. So that's exclusion, yes.
There we go. Well, that's part of the...
So perfectly picked up there by our COCs.
Well done, guys. First class COC work, as always, here at Weskus Oval. So, now, this is the real deal. Abdul Qadir, one-on-one with Skalk van der Westhuizen, one-on-one with JP Jr., one-on-one with Jean Leroux, and can Quinton Venter make amends and get ahead of that 5th position? Well, Quinton Venter drives up already on the inside line. Skalk van der Westhuizen, can he hold on to Abdul Qadir Del Valle? JP Jr. is in the hunt. JP Jr. is right there, and I do believe that Jean Leroux has got back into that 4th position.
Yeah, in P4, just ahead there of Quinton Venter as the white flag comes out for the final lap. One more time to go around, and then they will see the checkered flag. From here, I don't believe that they're going to catch Abdul Qadir Del Valle. That Nissan Exa is absolutely on song, Gary, as he races down into pit corner, bring them to the flag.
Well, Jean Leroux has got a last gasp effort game, but it's all about Abdul Qadir Del Valle. Brilliant Abdul Qadir Del Valle, Skalk van der Westhuizen, JP Jr., then it's Leroux, and then behind that is a Venter, the next man that comes through behind.
All right, here we go with the heavy metal final. Eventually, all the technicalities has been sorted out regarding the 43 car, and we are going to go racing. Hankoch Brandt, will it be Hankoch Brandt? Will it be the man right behind him, JJ Olivier? Will it be the two on the outside, Mr. Van Dijk? Or will it be Mr. Harvey Smith? Let's see as the flag goes down. Now and away we go. As they race down into turn number 1, Driekus van Dijk shoves it up there. He keeps that second position, keeping Olivier out in third, with Smith in fourth, Swart in fifth. But it's all about Hankook Brandt that sits out there in P1.
Well, if you think about it, the order they are in now is as their points were standing when they started the race. Driekus van Dijk getting ahead and ahead of Harvey Smith as well. So it is pretty much deja vu, but there's no doubt that Hankook Brandt is right now the quickest man out there on circuit.
Yeah, you're not going to catch Hankook Brandt from here, that's for sure. Driekus van Dijk in that second spot will give it a go, and so will JJ Olivier. That sits there in P4. He's been hassled there by Harvey Smith. That sits there in P5, or should I say in P4, sorry. And then in P5 is the boxy BMW of Jackie Swart.
Yeah, Jackie Swart brings up the tail end of the field. But look at this, it's JJ Olivier going around the outside of Driekus van Dijk. JJ Olivier is quite prepared to go for that outside line, and there is a very wide line where there's traction. Olivier gets good traction coming out of the corner. Does he have the power? Can he be late on the brakes? Yes, with 2 to go, he's late on the brakes. Olivier recovers that second position, but here comes Harvey Smith. Harvey Smith is with the pressure onto Driekus van Dijk.
Working the wide at turn number 1, heading down the back straight. There is a lap and a half to go for Hankook Brandt as he works his way towards turn 2. Out of 2 he comes. He's got 1 more lap to go as the white flag comes out for him to start his last lap. He's now pulling away. Olivier has eventually got his nose up into that second position ahead now of Driekus van Dijk. And van Dijk has been hassled heavily on the final lap here by Harvey Smith.
Harvey Smith with a last gasp effort. If he can get that third position, he might get the third overall. But Hankook Brandt is the man on the night. He did brilliantly. JJ Olivier will come through in second. Driekus van Dijk in third. Harvey Smith comes through in fourth. And Jackie Swart comes through in fifth. So the 177, the 911 and the 50. That's 3 of the cars that we just mentioned. And the order they're in is probably also linked to the pace that... Oh, the one man we forgot
about this young man.
JD Du Toit.
Yes.
Yeah, JD Du Toit. We forgot about that. The Wild Rose Gin.
Wild Rose Gin outfit.
And then the 6 car that's in there as well, Jonathan Pretorius.
We mentioned his name, yes. And we mentioned
Pretorius as well. So out of that front 6 will probably come the front 3. Starting on pole position, Gareth van der Merwe should be the odds-on favourite, but you can't count JD Du Toit out.
Oh, no.
There's no doubt about it. Jaco Jacobs on a good day, you cannot count him out. Jonathan Pretorius is just going from strength to strength, and not only is Jonathan Pretorius getting quicker, he is also becoming much more consistent. Having said that, Morne Botha has been on the edge of driver of the day for the last 2, 3, 4 race meetings and has just become a bigger and bigger factor, but you can't count out the experience of Maynard Pretorius either.
No, definitely not. The man that sits there with a 113 car just behind the 06, the 2 Pretorius drivers, one behind each other. Maynard in the 113 and the 06, that is Jonathan. We've got 2 young guns in there, in Jaco Jacobs and in JD Du Toit.
I don't think Gareth is that much older than them either.
Probably not. Yeah,
Jonathan is probably the elder of those 4. Either way, blindingly quick. The Wild Rose Gin entry on the front row on the outside. The AE Mechanical Workshop number 6 of Jonathan Pretorius. LVE Lighting and Electrical 911 of Jaco Jacobs that started off as a junior. And, well, he has progressed phenomenally and now become a competent overall racing driver in oval track racing in the Western Cape area. Knows the Worcester circuit pretty well as well. So here we go for the finals in the Stock Rods Value Cars. Frankie and his Mike side. Let's see if you can get them through turn 1 without a yellow.
Let's have a look and see. The flag will go down now and on the gas. Look at those 3. Reckon they're going to pull away from each other. The whole shot will go to Du Toit.
Wow.
Yes, it will. He just leads. And here comes Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe sticks his nose back up in the lead again with Jaco Jacobs there in that 3rd position. Jonathan Pretorius sitting there on the outside of that 4 cars with Maynard Pretorius in there behind him. Then it is Morne Botha. Behind Morne Botha, it is Hannes Botha. as they work their way into turn number 1, followed there by the 777 of Peter de Blanche.
Oh, JD de Toy up on the inside, and that turns Van der Merwe completely sideways. I think that was purely a racing incident. I don't think there was anything other than a racing incident. I personally think you'll probably find the two of them will just be reinstated back into their original positions for a restart. That's just my take on it. That was pretty much a 50-50. What a brilliant dice.
Far forward from there will he get.
If they slow one another down, I think he's in with a chance.
It's a very, very outside chance, but not impossible. Gazza,
All right.
take them away, man. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what we can do. And off the line they come, and JD de Toy is going to have problems as he goes down to turn number 1. That left-hand front tire is very, very soft. He's going to be holding them up. It's the 911 that's going to try and stick his nose in there, and Pretorius wants to come through as well. As we said, JD de Toy is going to have problems. He's going to fall down the pack, and we've got problems on the far side. We've got a car that's hopefully far enough away from the circuit, and it's all about the Jaco Jacobs that is leading them out, and then it's Jonathan Pretorius that's gone to the second, and then Maynard Pretorius that's broken through to that third, with a struggling JD de Toy with a flat left-hand front that's down to 4th.
Working their way back down towards us once again. This is going to be good stuff. Here we go. It is Jaco Jacobs in P1 with Jonathan Pretorius. Then it's Maynard Pretorius that's coming through there.
He's around. He made it.
I'm trying to have a look and see who's gone. Where is Mornay Botha? Is that Mornay Botha that's standing on the infield there?
It's very possible. Full course yellow.
Trouble, that's Hannes Botha.
Hannes on that side.
That's in trouble
so
there.
That, when the lights where we can't see, that must be Mornay. Well, that opens the door up for Maynard Pretorius, because he was now with the Shimozo. That's my word. That's my second word for
these
that.
guys, and look who's leading. Jonathan Pretorius is the man that is leading them around. Then it's Jacobs, then it's Maynard, then it's Peter de Blanche, and then it's Gareth van der Merwe.
Wow. And Marino van Schalkwijk, and then the 822 that comes through behind that. He's had a quiet time as Christoph Stopforth. But either way, I think that there's still the 25 of Botha that is need to be moved.
But final that is about to unfold in front of us soon. Well, which Pretorius will win this one? Well, Jaco Jacobs win it. What about de Blanche? And let's not forget about Gareth van der Merwe in the Volkswagen Fox as the flag goes down, and away they go into turn number 1. And through one go to Blanche. I mean, he just moved out the way there. Now, this is where Van der Merwe must make the move on him. And he must make the move now to get up into P4, which he does. And he sits now there behind Maynard Pretorius.
Is there enough laps for Gareth van der Merwe to go and attack those cars in front of him? As we said, if there's enough laps, if they hold one another up, Gareth will probably run from the back of the pack and make it into the top 5. Well, he has made it up into the 4th position, but I think that's about as far as he's going to get, because the boys up front have got one massive pace going, and JD de Toy with that left-hand front is out of it.
Yeah, he's going to pull off the circuit to get right out the way of all of them. It's all about Jonathan Pretorius at this stage of the game, with Jaco Jacobs in that 2nd spot. Then we've got Maynard Pretorius in 3rd, followed by Gareth van der Merwe. That's your top 4 as they work their way out of pit corner.
Gareth van der Merwe starting to encroach on the 113 of Maynard Pretorius, but is it enough? Is there going to be enough time for him to make the difference? Massive battle going down behind that, with Marino van Schalkwijk closing up on Peter de Blanche. Damien van Schalkwijk in the 840. And, well, he's done a pretty good job with his first time out with that motor car.
But the front runners heading back into turn number 1. There's only a handful of laps to go. Jonathan Pretorius is now getting away as Jaco Jacobs pulls a 911 onto the infield. And that will automatically promote Van der Merwe into P3. He was in that 4th spot with the demise of the 911 car. That's engaging again. And he rejoins on the opposite side of the circuit, and that will put him in there behind. Let's have a look, see, behind de Blanche. No, puts him ahead of Damien van Schalkwyk.
Well, Jaco Jacobs thought the car wasn't going to go any further, went onto the infield, then all of a sudden decided he's going to go back onto the track. Dangerous recovery of the circuit, but yeah, so it is what it is. Let's go back to the front end of the field. And Maynard Victorious is still holding out on Garrett. The two of them, nothing much in it, and the man that's broken away at the front in the 6 car, he was the lead car on the restart, and he's now going to walk away, Frankie, with a checkered flag.
The victory will go to Jonathan Pretorius. What a drive by Jonathan Pretorius. It'll be Maynard in second, Gareth van der Merwe in third, then it's Jaco Jacobs in P4. Here comes Damien van Schalkwyk, Peter de Blanche across the line, and then we've got 3 more cars that finish, at which Neil Swart is the last man out on. Right, here we go with the 2.1 modified saloon final. Sponsored by Brits Construction.
Ooh, we have another chance to see Tian Kuti go one-on-one with Brennan Green.
And with JP Jr. That's in pole position.
JP Jr. in the Jacaranda Hardware Motormasters 88 car, the Opel Tigra. 2 Opel Tigras versus 1 Ford Fiesta. In real terms, JP in that car, and remember that's actually a 1616, the 2.1 modified saloons. In real terms, he's the odds-on favourite. But then again, Brennan Green has done some amazing stuff tonight as well. Brennan Green's actually been really on form.
He has indeed. He'd like to try and take the victory away from them all in the 2.1 modified saloon final, sponsored by Brits Construction. Flag is up. Du Feresse flag is waiting for them, and away they go. On the gas into turn 1. It's very close. The whole shot will go to JP Jr.
Almost.
JP Jr. gets the whole shot with it. Tian Kluter on his outside. Then right behind them, we have got Brennan Green. We've got Rian van Niekerk right on his case, followed there by Pieter Meyer and JD Leroux.
Well, I tell you what, Tian Kluter's done brilliantly well. Has stayed ahead of the high-flying Brennan Green.
Oh, left flat rear for Leroux as he pulls the 401 car off onto the infield.
He must be very, very disappointed with that. But Tian Kuti is having the race of his life. You don't hold out Brennan Green for 2.5 laps very easy.
Well, it's still a fight on here for second and third, because it looks as if Junior is going to disappear down the road. JP Jr. on the gas, powering away. Here comes Brennan Green, sliding up on the inside of Kluter and moving up into second. But Kluter is going to fight back as hard as he can.
Kluter's having a brilliant race meeting. As always, Tian Kluter has become a very, very deft competitor. And he's going to try and get back up on the inside of Brennan Green. Let's hope they don't make contact. But in the meantime, JP Jr. up dust, and he's driven into Sunday morning.
Now he's doing pretty well as he works his way out. Well, the bottom line is that Brennan cannot go after him. He has to defend that second position from Kluter. So if he attempts to go after the lead, he might lose that spot. So now he's gone into defense mode to keep that second position, and that will result in the 88 car disappearing down the road.
Yep, the 88 has started, I think, his last lap already. Don't forget about the 500. He's also had a pretty decent day today. There's no doubt that he's been very much on form as well. Rian van Niekerk, he's getting better and better at bringing to the line. What a beautiful drive.
JP Jr. P1, Brennan Green just ahead of Kluter, followed there by Rian van Niekerk.
I'm tending to think that,
yes.
Yep, as I said,
She won heat
1. Winning heat number 1.
Correct.
Do you remember? Amy's right in there as well. So although she's not on the same pace as what they are, if something goes wrong, it's going to be a different story. She's the highest, third highest point scorer, holding Trishka Low out of it in the value cars. 25 entry with a beautiful sticker job on it, but she's had misfires par excellence. So if Trishka's car goes well, it's possible that Trishka can outscore can beat Amy Bezuidenhout. Will that in itself be enough for a third? I think Amy Bezuidenhout has done enough to hold on to the third, even if Trishka beats her. I think Trishka's got to not only beat Amy Bezuidenhout, she's got to beat one of the two cars at the front as well.
I think so,
and
yes.
Put an additional car between herself
to get that third,
and Amy Bezuidenhout.
To get that third spot,
so
yeah.
I think Amy's going to play safe. All she's got to do is play safe, and it's hers. The pressure's on Trishka. She's on the bubble. She's the one on the outside of that top three. She's the one that's got to make it happen. And then try and stay with the two front runners. But in real terms, let's be honest, that front row is notably quicker than the rest of the
no, that's for sure. That we knew right from the get-go when the show started. Right, here we go. Do for SA flag is up. We're going to go racing shortly. Away they go as the flag drops down. And my money is going to be on Yane for this one. Yeah, she's got the whole shot with the Valentine in second. That's what she wanted. That's what Valentine did not want. Now, Valentine's going to try and have a look on the outside. She's going to pressurize Yane Esterhazy, that's for sure, into making a mistake. She's right on her back bumper as they complete the opening lap.
Wow, there's nothing between them, and Louise is prepared to go for that inside line as well. I think Amy Bezuidenhout will be able to hold on to that third. Trishka's motor, it's okay, but it doesn't sound too great if Amy's car holds together. Having said that, Trishka has a look around the outside.
Well, and she does move up into that third spot, so she does get up into P3. That's what she wanted. She will want somebody else to try and get their nose ahead of Amy, and that can only be Lisa Marie Swart, because that's the only other car out there. Will that happen? We'll have a look and see. We'll keep an eye on that as Louise Valentine is really hunting down race leader Yane Esterhazy.
Well, before this race started, I would have said Brennan Green would have been a prize choice for driver of the day, but I think Yane Esterhazy and her counterpart that's out there, Louise Valentine, could quite easily be very strong nominations for driver of the day. Oh, she sticks it up on the inside. Can you believe it? She makes the move and she runs wide. Are they going to be swapping positions once again? Louise Valentine having the race of her life. She goes to the front.
One more lap to go. This is the final lap. She's been right there hassling Esterhazy all the way. Now she's pulling away from Yane Esterhazy. She did it right, but it mattered the most. And Louise Valentine will win the stock rod finals, with Yane Esterhazy finishing second. Third will go to Trishka Lowe. Fourth will go to Amy Bezuidenhout, and fifth will go to Lisa Marie Swart.
Well, I tell you what, Louise Valentine, that is the best night's racing she has